Hi, my name is Belia Haro. So my topic is PBIS effective in middle schools? Stands for Positive Behavior Intervention and Support. And my research question was, are middle schools implementing PBIS? Is it being effective? Mm, Before I did my literature review, I had no idea what PBIS was. After conducting my literature review, I noticed that there were certain things that were going on around campus that had to do with PBIS. That was reinforcing positive behavior. Um, so a little bit about my experience or about me. I worked as a language assistant at Bloomington High School for many years. I decided that I wanted a change, so I decided to transfer to Jobaca Middle School, where I was a language assistant. The year I transferred, it was when PBIS, people were starting to talk about PBIS. I had no idea what PBIS was. I would hear that our principal wanted us to give out grizzly bucks for students who were doing what they were supposed to be doing in class or in school. Um, so I just went along with it. Then I transferred to Colton Middle School, and it was a very, very different dynamic. The two schools are located in different areas. You can tell where there is more involvement and like more school involvement, and where there's less. So when I moved to Colton Middle School, it was not even a year ago. And I wanted to do my project on something that had to do with behavior. So the professor, he recommended me to do something that had to do with behavior, which was PBIS. So I'm kind of glad that I chose that topic because it gave me more of an understanding of what PBIS is. And I know that in the future, this is going to help me. So I decided to interview three different people. I interviewed two teachers and one counselor. One of the teachers is from Jobaca Middle School. She is an SDC teacher, so she teaches math and science and works with 7th and 8th grade. Um, she she was telling me that since she started working as a teacher, PBIS has been implemented. So ways that they implement positive behavior at their school is by giving grizzly bucks. With those grizzly bucks, students can buy stuff from the student store. Students are able to participate in the carnival, in the movie night or movie activities. So there are many activities to try to encourage positive behavior. That school conducts a lot of after school activities. Now, Colton Middle School. Colton is a little bit different. I haven't really seen a lot of activities, but I haven't been there for a long time either. So I spoke to one of the teachers there. And as I was talking to her, she says that because I asked her what was her opinion on PBIS. Do you think it's being effective? Do you think that we are using it correctly here at this middle school? She says, believe it or not, even though the kids try to be tough and that, oh, they're adults, that they're bigger, they like encouragement. They like to be given little rewards. So this year, they started implementing, instead of giving out Falcon dollars, students are supposed to carry their IDs. So with their IDs, if they're caught in the hallways doing what they're supposed to be doing, they just scan their ID and they get points. And with those points, they're able to use their points at the student store. Sometimes they have raffles, and like little things like that. This year, they started implementing more spirit days. Those spirit days are supposed to encourage students, like to promote positive behavior. For example, wear orange, no to bullying. Wear yellow. Yellow means you're going to be kind or you should be kind. So they're starting to implement more spirit days this year. So we'll see how that goes. I spoke to one of the counselors there too at the middle school, And I was asking her what are her thoughts on PBIS. Does she think it's effective? And she says she believes PBIS is effective. She says that in order for PBIS to work, it is not a curriculum, but in order for PBIS to work, all staff members have to work together. She was also explaining to me that there is different tiers. And then she gave me or she attached me to view a document where it talks about the pyramid of support, which are tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So for example, for tier 1. So tier 1 is implemented to all students, regardless if the students are special education or if the students are EL or regular ed. Implemented is PBIS is implemented across the whole school. So for one of the things was the Falcon Dollar. Another thing is that they have good attendance. So if the students have good attendance, every month they get a reward. There's also Student of the Month, which is each teacher has to choose 2 students each month, and then the students are rewarded with a little ice cream or cookies for just a couple of minutes during one of their periods. Last year they started doing carnivals as well. So this is going to be the second year that they're going to be implementing the carnival. So I can't wait to see how that goes. So my next topic, let me see. I'm looking at my phone because that's where I have my PowerPoint. So frequently asked questions. Some of my frequently asked questions were, what is PBIS? So PBIS is evidence-based 3-tier framework to improve and interpreting all data, systems, and practices affected student outcomes every day. So it's a way to support everyone, especially students with disabilities, to create a kind of school where all students are successful. So my other question is, PBIS a curriculum? No, PBIS is not a curriculum. PBIS is a day-by-day thing, and it's also and it's something that's not going to be changed over a day. It's going to take time. So my next topic, the poem. So I went to one of the conference. My job offered a conference on behavior, so I was assigned to go to that conference. During the conference, he discussed different things. Students can be a lot of things. They can have bad temper. They could be lazy. They might not understand. They might be having a bad day. But as a teacher, we're there to encourage them, to support them, and to make them feel welcome, and to make sure that they are successful. So the poem that I chose is "Who Am I?" So I'm just gonna read the last 2 paragraphs where I am not a machine, though I work with all the precision of a machine, plus the intelligence of a human. You may run me for profit or run me for ruin. It makes no difference to me. Take me, train me, be firm with me, and I will place the world at your feet. Be easy with me, and I will destroy you. Who am I? The answer is habit. So I chose this poem because to me, it's a habit that students try to be responsible, that students try to be respectful. Over a period of time, it becomes a habit. So the students are going to be respectful. Students are going to be responsible. So for one of my genres, I chose my literature review. I did an infograph. I created my own infograph. In my infograph, I just gave a little description what PBIS was, what are the school-wide expectations For school-wide expectations, I kind of combine both of for my interviews from Joe Baca and Colton Middle School. What is the job of a student and how PBIS can be implemented at home. So for my story clip, this was kind of tough, but I came with the idea of doing a scratch cartoon. So it is a little bit difficult, especially for me who I am not very good with technology. So, but for this scratch, the idea was maybe if I do have a classroom in the future, maybe I can have my students create a scratch. They can, based on being kind, no to bullying, something that has to do with respect. So in this little scratch, I chose to choose a little boy who's in a wheelchair and who asked somebody else to play with them. And the other person is very negative, doesn't want to play. And then a new character, a new sprite comes in and says, oh, I'll play with you. You shouldn't be mean to us, and turns around to the person who was being mean. You shouldn't be mean to others. Remember to be respectful to everyone. And then I also created a Kahoot game. For this Kahoot game, it's 10 questions and there's little different scenarios. What should you do? So basically, it's based on school-wide expectations. And it doesn't matter where I go as a teacher. School-wide expectations is going to be the same across the board. And that's it. That's my whole project. Thank you. And I really enjoyed this class. It made me think outside the box. Thank you. Have a good night.